the market changing and what his buyers currently are wanting, and how this has changed over this period. Hi, Max.
Hi, Avi. Thank you for the introductions, and hi everyone, panelists, and hello to all our dental industry friends and colleagues. It's absolutely great to be part of this event with so many heavyweights names from our industry to share our insights. So if I talk about practice sales market, what we noticed in the deal flow in dentistry hasn't stopped. At independent practice level, this hasn't stopped. At private equity level, it might be different, with some investors might be looking at the NHS model as the positive cash flow. Even so, the private sector is the one that offers the big growth potential. So there is demand, which ultimately will drive the competitive tension in the market. There is also an increased number of practices wanting to sell or exit or look at the different sort of buyouts deal, like a partnership, for example, because of their financial uncertainty. In terms of the associate looking to buy in their practice, I think it's fair to say that it's a possibility that practice owners might decide to spend more time in clinics and do more clinical work to reduce their costs going forward, therefore reducing the level of incomes for their associate. Or they might decide to introduce in sliding scale associate pay rate, for example, so reducing again to mitigate the potential cost increase. So this alone could be a reason for associate looking to buy practice for the long term. So what we see that the higher number of buyers, the higher number of sellers, and also the systemic nature of our healthcare system and dentistry will certainly drive the recovery of the industry. So to give you some example, some figures here at Pluto Partners, for example, we have a pipeline of 40 to 50 deals at any given time in terms of deals and not practices. And next week alone, we have 12 new deals to introduce to the market. So that shows that there is confidence and practices approaching the market. We also have an experience in the last 4 weeks, 17% increase in the number of independent buyers inquiring and asking for dental practices available. So this is, fundamentally, it's a very important factor to drive the industry forward, to give confidence to the sector and for buyers and investors. But I think in order that very, very, very briefly to give you an opinion about the directions of the market, I think it's important to say that we approach the valuations and we always analyze 3 main factors. Of course, demand, which I just explained, is there. But buyers also want to know clearly the financial performance of the practice and the quality of the practice. Well, in terms of quality of the practice, we're not referring about the furnitures or the fixtures. We're talking about the factors that can affect the sustainability of the business, the return on investment, the quality that can help the financial performance to recover. So buyers are increasingly asking me how long associates have been in practice for example, if they've been in for 5 or 6 years, as opposed to 5 or 6 months, that make a difference. Is the income equally spread amongst associates, or is all on one performer? And then, of course, location, prime city locations, the type of dentistry, the patient base, how sellers and practice owners are keeping in touch with their patient base. They're all important factors that clients and buyers are asking me. So it's fair to say the quality of the practice as a factor is there, the demand is there, but obviously, what about the financial performance? Obviously, it's wrong to say that dental practice sales market hasn't been affected by COVID. Of course, some deals have slowed down, but equally, we have a number of deals that moved to completion. So, of course, buyers want to have confidence in revenue and profitability, right? And right now, in the immediate terms, it is not possible to be certain of the profit margin. So we usually see an average 18-19% profit margin on average on a fully associate-led valuation model, meaning that all of the costs from a buyer's perspective are added back into the valuation. That might change. Therefore, buyers and lenders are increasingly looking at the 2019 figures, comparing to the previous year for a growing trend, and they're happy to share rewards for future growth with sellers. So there is a sort of a reward scheme in place, whilst deferring part of the price to allow the business to recover. That seems to be the way forward in most cases. So we've been talking to many CEOs and head of acquisitions and of many groups, and also to many first-time buyers over the last few weeks. And I think the good news is that the demand is there. The demand for quality practices is still there.
No, I appreciate the insight, Max, and it's really good to hear from you. We're gonna move time along, and thank you so much for your input there.
Thank you.